Outdoor gear companies have been running the same lie on you for decades, and the worst part isn't the lie itself. It's how much money they've pulled out of your wallet because of it. Subscribe now, because what comes next might permanently change how you think about real emergencies. Picture this. 2 people, one winter night, 10 below zero. Person A has $300 worth of premium camping gear. Person B has materials pulled from dumpsters and construction sites. Total cost, $30. Which one wakes up warmer? If you said person A, you just proved exactly what the outdoor industry has spent years programming into your head. And it's not because you're stupid. It's because the camping industry built one of the most sophisticated marketing machines on the planet, designed to make you believe that without their gear, you're in danger. But physics doesn't care about brands. Thermodynamics can't tell the difference between a $200 tent and a structure built from trash. The only things that matter are the physical laws that control how heat moves, how it escapes, and how it gets trapped. Those laws were working long before any outdoor store opened its doors. What you're about to see are the real principles of thermal survival that have kept people alive when they had nothing but knowledge. People who survived conditions where well-equipped campers died. Let's start with the real problem. And for that, we need to talk about your body. The human body at rest generates roughly 100 watts of heat. Same energy as an old incandescent light bulb. That's what keeps you alive when temperatures drop. And the job of any shelter system, regardless of price, is to keep that energy inside your body as long as possible. The problem with most camping gear is that it tackles this job partially, superficially, and sometimes in ways that are flat out counterproductive. Think about what a tent actually is. A sheet of nylon stretched over aluminum poles. It blocks rain, stops some wind, but in terms of holding onto your heat, it does almost nothing. Because heat doesn't escape your body in one way, it escapes in 5 ways simultaneously, and the average tent only addresses 1 or 2 of them. Military survival studies from decades of Arctic operations identified these 5 heat loss mechanisms as the knowledge that separates survivors from casualties. Number 1. Conduction. This is the most aggressive mechanism and the most underestimated. When your body makes direct contact with a cold surface, heat flows out of you and into that surface at a rate 25 times faster than through air. 25 times. The ground under your sleeping bag, no matter how expensive that bag is, acts as an infinite heat sink. It doesn't matter how many layers you pile on top of yourself. If you don't insulate what's underneath you, the earth will keep stealing your heat all night long. Number 2. Convection. Moving air strips the warm layer off your skin. That's why wind chill feels so brutal. But it's also why sleeping in a large open space is thermally inefficient. Cold air inside a tent circulates constantly, sweeping heat away from your skin before you can accumulate it. Number 3. Radiation. Your body constantly emits infrared energy into its surroundings. It's heat that literally radiates out of you toward every cold surface around you. Same way a furnace heats a room by radiating thermal energy in every direction. Number 4. Respiration. Every time you exhale warm, moist air into a cold environment, you're losing heat. It's a constant, silent drain that almost nobody factors into their shelter design. And number 5. Evaporation. Sweat cools your skin as it evaporates. In summer, that's a brilliant survival mechanism. In winter, it's a genuine threat. If your clothing or insulation layer gets damp from perspiration, it loses its thermal performance drastically, and you can slide into hypothermia without even realizing what's happening. Now, before I show you exactly how the system we're about to break down counters all 5 of these mechanisms at the same time, I want to ask you something. And I'd genuinely like you to answer this in the comments, because it helps me understand what's actually useful for you. Have you ever spent a night outdoors in an actual emergency? And if so, what was the biggest mistake you made or saw someone else make? Drop it in the comments. It tells me where to take the next videos. Alright, let's get into the system. What I'm about to describe is not something I invented. It's the distilled result of decades of practical knowledge built by people who had no other option but to get it right. People whose survival depended on understanding physics better than any engineer sitting in a heated office. The foundation of the entire system sounds ridiculous until you understand why it works. Elevate your sleeping surface at least 6 inches off the ground. That's it. That's the single most important move in the whole system. 6 inches of separation between your body and the earth. Why does it matter so much? Because it eliminates conduction at the root. The ground can't steal your heat if you're not touching it. And you don't need a $250 titanium cot to make it happen. Wooden pallets, construction scraps, discarded framing lumber. Any logistics company or building site throws away dozens of these every single day. 2 or 3 clean pallets strapped together create a raised platform that is functionally identical to what outdoor stores sell you at an obscene markup. On top of that platform comes the second component, cardboard. I know exactly what you're thinking right now. And it's the same thing everyone thinks until they understand the physics behind it. Corrugated cardboard, the stuff we use to pack everything and throw away without a second thought, is one of the best low-cost thermal insulators that exists in the real world. Why? Because its internal structure is made up of thousands of tiny trapped air chambers, and air, when it's confined in small spaces that prevent convection currents from forming, is an extraordinary thermal insulator. It's not fundamentally different from what's inside a $500 down sleeping bag. What you're really paying for with that bag is the privilege of having trapped air in a more compact, more packable form. 4 to 6 layers of cardboard on top of the raised platform create a thermal resistance value comparable to commercial camping pads. The difference is that one is sitting in the recycling bin behind any supermarket, and the other costs you between $40 and $100 depending on the brand. Are you starting to see why this matters? The outer layer of the system uses a principle that NASA originally developed to manage the extreme thermal conditions of space. And you can buy it at any hardware store for less than $3. Emergency blankets. Those ultra-light silver sheets you see in first aid kits, they're coated with a microscopically thin layer of aluminum that has a remarkable property. It reflects up to 90% of infrared energy back toward its source instead of absorbing it. When you use those blankets to build a small enclosed space around your body, using a simple frame of sticks, PVC pipe, or whatever rigid structure you can find, you're creating a thermal envelope that captures your body's radiation and redirects it back to you instead of letting it escape into the environment. It's the exact same principle that aerospace engineering uses to protect satellites and space capsules from the extreme temperatures of the vacuum. Applied at human scale with materials that cost a fraction of conventional camping gear. And here's a critical point that most people completely miss about tents. Volume matters, and not in the way brands want you to think. The bigger the interior space of your shelter, the more cold air your body has to heat up before you start benefiting from that warmth. A big, spacious tent that brands market as a feature is thermally a disaster. Your 100 watts of biological heat dissolve into a volume of air that's way too large to heat efficiently. The system we're breaking down does the exact opposite. It creates the minimum space needed for your body to fit with some comfort, maximizing the thermal efficiency of every single watt of heat you produce. There's one more component in this system that, once you understand it, multiplies everything we've covered so far in a way you have to experience to fully believe. It's called active preheating. The idea is surprisingly simple. Before you get into your shelter, you want that space to already be warm. Not lukewarm, warm. Because if you climb into a cold shelter, your body has to burn metabolic energy to heat up the surfaces and air around you before you even start feeling comfortable. That means more time shivering, worse sleep quality, and more exhaustion the next morning. The solution is 2 plastic bottles filled with the hottest water you can handle without burning yourself, sealed tight. Place them inside your shelter about 20 minutes before you plan to sleep. Those 2 bottles act as thermal batteries. They release their energy gradually and steadily, raising the interior temperature of your shelter by 10 to 15 degrees before your body touches a single surface. When you finally climb in, you're not fighting the cold. You're conserving heat that already exists. The difference in sleep quality and energy conservation between entering a cold shelter and entering a preheated one is enormous. And it's knowledge anyone can apply with materials that cost literally nothing, as long as you have access to hot water. Now let's run the comparison that actually matters. A high-end 0-degree sleeping bag from a premium brand costs between $400 and $800. It weighs about 4.5 pounds. It uses down fill that loses its insulating ability when wet. And it addresses heat loss in exactly one way: padding around your body. It doesn't solve ground conduction. For that, you need a separate pad, another $40 to $100. It doesn't solve radiation loss. It doesn't solve the convection problem of sleeping in a large air volume. The system we just described costs less than $30 if you buy every single material new, with the emergency blankets being the most expensive item. It weighs roughly the same as the conventional setup when you account for the whole thing. And it addresses all 5 mechanisms of heat loss simultaneously. Not one at a time, not partially, all 5 at once. Conduction, eliminated by the raised platform and cardboard layers. Convection, eliminated by the minimal air volume that prevents cold air circulation. Radiation, captured by the reflective barriers that send your infrared energy back to you. And active preheating eliminates the initial thermal deficit, which is the most vulnerable moment of any night outdoors. Still think it sounds crazy that a $30 system can outperform gear that costs 20 times more? The people who built these systems didn't do it for fun. They did it because their survival depended on getting it right, night after night, in conditions no camper would choose. The knowledge they accumulated through brutal trial and error is more precise than anything in a gear manual. Special Forces programs teach the same principles. Debris shelters, reflective barriers, environmental sourcing, minimal volume. Not because they can't afford gear. Because they know that knowledge is more reliable than equipment. Gear breaks. Gear gets lost. Knowledge goes everywhere you go. If there's one idea I want you to take from this video, it's this. Survival is a knowledge problem, not an equipment problem. The people who survive extreme cold with minimal materials don't have superpowers. They have a clear understanding of how heat works, how it escapes, and how to trap it. And they apply that understanding with whatever materials are available in that moment. The people who die of hypothermia carrying expensive gear make predictable mistakes. They sleep in direct contact with the ground. They create too much cold air volume around themselves. They don't manage moisture from perspiration. And they trust that the price tag on their gear will solve problems that only knowledge can solve. Next time you see a silver blanket in an emergency kit, or cardboard stacked in a way that looks careless, or an improvised structure made from pallets and scraps, stop for a second before you judge what you're looking at. You might be looking at applied thermodynamics in action. You might be looking at the result of knowledge earned at a price no outdoor store puts on its labels. The $30 system doesn't beat the $300 one because it's cheaper. It beats it because it understands the problem correctly. And now, so do you. But here's what most people don't think about. What happens when you've solved the heat problem and the real threat isn't cold anymore, it's being found? Modern thermal drones can spot your body heat from 1,000 feet in the air, and that expensive shelter you just built is lighting you up like a beacon. The physics of thermal invisibility and how to disappear from the sky is exactly what we cover in the next video.